Hello and welcome. My name is Sophia Lajol, and if you're new to this channel, I want to personally welcome you and thank you for tuning in. And if you like this content, I invite you to subscribe and like the video. If you have certain questions or anything that you would like to hear about, I invite you to comment on the video as well. And today I wanted to speak about the energy of uncertainty and the energy of not knowing. In the past few days, teaching classes, my light language of light training online, and then through conversation with coaches and the people that I am supporting in their spiritual journey and life, there's been a common theme of this sense of feeling the uncomfortness and the judgment on when you are in a place of either not knowing or in a place of feeling like you're wrong, or you're gonna this fear of being wrong or making a mistake. And so I wanted to speak about this because it's been a recurrent theme in the past month or so in conversations. And so yesterday, as I was teaching one of the classes that programs that I have, Awakening to the Language of Your Soul. And right now we're in the second program, that is the five sacred elements. So we go through the elements, and right now we're in water, that is a teacher element. And so I was sharing about this piece about how being in detachment from the outcome and not attached to the outcome, but instead open to an outcome. And so I was speaking about a phrase that we all of us have heard for many, many years. In fact, many of the spiritual teachers speak about this, how arriving to this place that the more you know, the more you know nothing. So this place of knowing nothing, um, and how being in a place of openness, in a way, the only thing that I know is that I know nothing. Being in that place, you're in a space of openness, of receivership. You're there something that I know, that there's certain pieces of being or ways of being that actually block energy in coming in. And one is feeling and believing that you know everything. When you're in a place of I you think that you're right and that you know something, then there's not a flexibility within your being for newness to come. And this is something that you hear a lot, a lot. Joe Dispenza speaks about this a lot, in the sense of when you feel comfortable of being in the unknown and being in certainty, that's when you're open to new potentials, because then the universe is able to bring you back, um, and send you, in a way, information, opportunities that you weren't projecting into your future, that it's something that is not the next logical step or something that you were expecting. When you're standing in this place of I know nothing, all when that I know nothing, in this place you're in infinite possibilities. And I know that's an uncomfortable place to be, because we tend, all of us, I include myself in it, it feels safer to feel that you have control. But then in that control, you're projecting yourself into the future. And if you want things to transform, then the projection into the future, you're not allowing a new opportunities to come through. That's why being in this sense of uncertainty and the unknown, this is when you tap into the place of infinite possibilities. So starting your day from a place, I'm gonna let the universe surprise me. I'm gonna be in a place of curiosity versus expectancy. I'm going to be in a place of openness and innocence instead of righteousness. I'm going to be in a place of open and infinite possibilities, knowing that the universe is supporting you in your highest and best in your evolution, because life always wants to create more life. It's always in the service of expansion. And so, from this perspective, knowing that what is coming is always better and it's always for your highest and best. So instead of narrowing your mind, because fear in a way is what it tends, we want to control because what we are afraid of either getting it wrong or getting hurt. And so what happens with fear is you get into this narrow way of seeing and thinking. And so in the narrow, you only project what you expect. The fear, the mind gets triggered that it functions from the way of the past. And so in the past, there you have experienced certain recurrent experiences, then what you expect is what you have experienced before. And so this is the opening to the new mind, to your new way of being, and to that trust of that infinite intelligence, that universal intelligence that created you, that called you forward, and that you are. That intelligence and loving intelligence and the universal intelligence that is alive in every single cell of your body, that in fact you are that expression of the universal intelligence. And so when you trust yourself and you trust in that connection of who you are and that universal intelligence, and you are in this place of confidence and trust, and you say, all that I know is that I know nothing, then you open a massive gateway of new possibilities, infinite possibilities for you. And then you always have free will and choice in your thoughts, in the information, choice of what action you're going to take, what choice in which way you're going to respond. And so this is a piece that I wanted to speak. And so this plays about how would it feel like to begin your day in saying, okay, today I want to create the energy quality of love, of empowerment, of well-being, whatever that is. And all that I know is that I know nothing. So universe, I surrender this information, my desires, my hopes, my projects and dreams to you, not because you're giving up. On the contrary, you are trusting, you feel confident in this energy, in this intelligence that you are and that you're in connection and that you are expression of this intelligence, this universal intelligence. You're giving this intention that the universe is safekeeping for you, so you don't feel you have to control it. And because in truth, the only thing that you control is your thought, is the information that you are emanating, that you're holding in your frequency. The rest is in this beautiful design that is beyond your control. That energy that calls you forward in love to experience your life and that you agreed upon. And so it's this beautiful connection. And so what it would feel like to come to a place where you can say, you know, I realized that in the past I was wrong. How many times you were wrong in the past, but not in a way of judging yourself and punishing yourself for being wrong, but because that was an opportunity to that opened you to a new way of thinking, to a new way of seeing yourself, to a new way of a new way of experiencing something and seeing something and learning and experiencing and seeing through new eyes. So when you shift the energy charge of being wrong, that is in alignment with fear, with rejection and judgment and pain, when you clear that piece and you can say, in the past, just look, use it as a tool right now with the past. So then you can be in the future. It's like, what can I be? Maybe there's something in my present. Maybe there's ways of thinking and perceiving life and the world and perceiving yourself that you're wrong. And so in that, without judgment, simply curiosity. You're opening again that door where it's like, okay, perhaps there's a place in my way of thinking that I am wrong. This is already opening you into a new possibility of seeing yourself through a new light, thinking in new ways that you haven't seen before or thought before, feeling new ways, feeling yourself through your life in new ways that you haven't felt and experienced before. You see? So, how to use the energy of being wrong instead of something negative that is disempowering you because you're judging yourself and you're creating pain through judging yourself, and therefore you're rejecting that experience. You're constantly bringing, so what you resist persists. And so instead, what I'm inviting you to kind of step towards and lean towards is, what would it be like for you if you actually step into the energy, okay, being wrong without judgment, without judging yourself, and looking at it as a way of new opportunities. That it doesn't mean that you are wrong. You're just simply, there was something. What does it mean? It's an opportunity for something new. It simply means that what you believe to be true and real is not. And what an amazing and powerful way to be, where you are not attached to being right or wrong. In fact, you can see that being wrong is opening you to a possibility of what is different. Perhaps now you're going to be right in a different way, in what is true. Something that it was real for you, now is not real, and something else is real. And what if that new experience, new perception of seeing yourself, seeing others and the world, is more empowering, it's more expansive, and it's also a level of consciousness within you, because perhaps what you believe it was right, now you're opening to a new experience, to a new level of consciousness that perhaps is more expansive, in the sense that you include that way of thinking and that you include the other way of thinking. It's not in polarity, it's not right or wrong. This is a place of moving beyond polarity into unity consciousness, that in a way the pole, the positive and the negative, the north and the south, is the one. It's just simply a perspective. Wherever you are in the pole, it leads you to the north or the south, the positive or the negative, right? And just a way of observation, from where, from what perspective you're observing. So when you create a polarity of wrong and right, of judgment and non-judgment, of approval and disapproval, of like, when you are wrong, then you disapprove yourself, you're creating a polarity. In that polarity, it creates a charge, because that's what happens with the negative. The opposite polarities attract and they complement. So in a way, always the conflict and the polarity is a way through. That's why fear is a way through towards love, because it's a polarity. That's why when you move through the polarity, when you expand and break through the polarity, when you transcend the polarity, you reach to a place of unity, of peace, therefore of peace and harmony, because you're in balance with the both polarities. You can hold both polarities at the same time. So this place of fear of getting it wrong or being wrong, do you understand? It comes from a past conditioning. If you think about your life, you've been in school since you're 6 years old. Some of us even before that, and continue to be in a system that is basically your value and your worth is understood, that if you get something right, you're approved, and if you get something wrong, you're disapproved. So you get an A plus or a 10 if you got all the answers correct, and if you don't, then you don't pass. when you have a question in class, you didn't want to raise your hand because it meant that either you can be judged as not being smart, as being slow, XYZ, right? So instead of encouraging the inquiry and the curiosity and the expansiveness in classes, we were condemned by asking questions, even in the house, in the in the past, or maybe in certain houses is still the same. You don't ask questions. If you're a kid, you shut up. So we've been in that domesticated in a way where it's like you can't speak your truth, you can ask questions. If you're wrong, you are disapproved. So that's part of the conditioning that created a program within yourself, like a chip in your brain, that if you get it wrong, you're disapproved. That if you get it wrong into you make a mistake, you're disapproved. So the program is that you're now disapproving of yourself. You're now rejecting of yourself. Before when you were young, that energy was outside, but you internalize it through the conditioning. You internalize it, and now it's a chip in your brain. And so it's simply a way of thinking that it can be deprogrammed. So it's the unlearning. So this is a way where you reframe. You reframe a condition and you reframe the program. So if the condition of getting it wrong was punishment and rejection, now what you do is the condition of getting it wrong is actually an opportunity of expansion for yourself, of growth, of empowerment, of raising your level of consciousness. You see? So instead of being a place of fear and creates a place of fear and creates pain, now being wrong and not knowing, it's a place of empowerment, it's a place of love. You see the difference? And so this is what is happening. And to finish this video is I want to give you an exercise so you also feel it in your body. And the exercise is that I want you to take a deep breath in and come into your heart center and just breathe in. Take a deep breath in, inhale, fill your lower belly all the way to your upper chest, and release. And when have maybe 1, 2, 3 breaths like that, so you can really feel yourself in your body. Coming to your heart center. As you tune into your heart center, I want you to activate the power of love within you. Beautiful. And as you activated the power of love within you and you're still in connection to your heart, you're still breathing and connected to your breath, allowing the breath to bring you back to this moment, to your body. And now I want you to extend your hands in front of you. And one hand is holding the energy of being wrong as something negative. And then the other hand is holding the energy of being wrong as a positive experience. So something negative and something positive. Basically, you're holding it on both hands. So right now you're holding the polarity on both hands and see it as two balls of energy. So they're detached from you. So this is the understanding that you're not these energies. These energies are simply energies. You're holding the energies. You're choosing which energy you want. If you choose a negative energy, it creates an experience within you. If you choose the other energy, creates another experiencing. But when you hold both energies, you can see the wholeness. So what is the benefit of each experience? There's a benefit on each one. Each one will give you an experience that has a benefit because it gives you an experience that cultivates wisdom within you. you can acquire knowledge, but ultimately wisdom comes through your experience, the learning that comes through you moving through that experience. So I want you to just release the energy, and you can just move the energy. There we go. Do a little bit of a shake, and that's it. So anytime you feel like, oh my god, I'm in this negative experience, I can feel the polarity, just do that exercise. Bring both situations. If you're in this situation but you want this positive situation, let's say you're experiencing a conflict and it feels very negative, and you want to be here in this positive energy, just bring both energies in front of you and see what is the benefit on each, what is bringing, and just begin to merge them both and just see what is there, the gift. As soon as you bring both energies, because you are energy as well, you begin to see the shift and you'll begin to receive the wisdom within you as well, because you're already in bringing that opportunity of experiencing both experiences as such an energy. You are already giving yourself the experience, so you'll receive the wisdom. Does that make sense? Okay, so this was wonderful. So nice to connect with you in this way. If you like this video, I want you to like it. And if you like my channel, welcome to subscribe. There's lots of information there, and you'll receive alerts for when new material come up. So I'm always bringing new information here in this way, because for me it's important to share information that is accessible to all, for those who are not ready, or for those who are not able to work with me one-on-one, or working during my trainings and so on. So I love to connect with you this way, and we'll continue to develop our relationship in this way. And I hope all this material supports you in your process of life, in your spiritual journey, in cultivating more love in your life, more expansion, and more well being. So I see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.